Okay, I've got more news for you. This may be the end of the line for my two catfish. For one of them, I'm a million percent sure it's the end of the line because he has done been blocked on the Instagrams. So, I'll tell you the story about him first. Things got a little strange on Sunday when he told me he was going to be buying a house in Miami once he was done with discussions on his father's business. He asked me to move to Miami with him. Said if I didn't like Miami, he'd be happy to buy me a house in the town of my choosing. Well, I don't want to live in Miami. I just don't. No offense to anyone who lives there. I'm sure it's great. But there are like 4 main reasons that I don't want to live there. This is not an exhaustive list. Humidity. There was a shooting there not too long ago. Number 2. Alligators. Number 3. And number 4 is like an iffy thing because I'm about 70% sure that's where the guy got his face chewed off after some little hobo was eating bath salts. I want no part of any of those things. Any of those things. So Miami would be a hard pass on that one. Never ever. Neither will I tell him where I want to live because he's not real and that's none of his business. After that, I attempted to break up with him, so to speak. Like, obviously there's nothing there, so there's nothing to break off. But I mean, I try to be a nice person. Even if you're a crook or a snake in the grass, I don't want to try and hurt your feelings. So I did the whole, it's not you, it's me. And that did not work. That tanked, and that tanked bad. I've never broken up with anyone. I've never had to. And I'm not good at it, I learned. Or at least he's just relentless. Maybe that's the problem. I'm not the problem. He's the problem. So that's what happened with that. That didn't work. He started doing weird things as well, like just arbitrarily out of the blue. He would say, I love you more. I never said I love you. I don't remember ever saying that. Like, I'm looking back at my messages. Nope, never said I love you. So what on earth? That's a reciprocal type of thing that you say. It's not something you say, I love you more, because that would indicate that someone had already said I love you, and that never transpired. He did that twice, so that was just bizarre. At that point, I decided the breakup didn't work, so I need to fake my own death. I mean, that's the obvious next step that I need to take. So I told him, I'm going to the hospital. The doctors don't know what's wrong. I'm going to the hospital. And I told him, I don't know how I'm going to be able to afford this, but I've got to go because I've never felt this terrible before. And he says to me, he's like, tell me what bank you use and I'll put money in your account. Now, I would be lying to you if a little part of me didn't think, ka-ching. Ka-ching. But then I realized that would make me a catfish. So, I mean, that I didn't tell him. Not that I would have anyways, because the guy's not real. He doesn't have real money. He says his dad's company is worth $10 million and he wants to take care of me. But the fact of the matter is, had I passed out my bank account information like a pixie stick, he would have drained that sucker dry. And it wouldn't have taken him long because there's not much in there. And then he'd realize that he's wasted a week of his life talking to me. So, tried to fake my own death. He keeps texting me. I just told him, I said, the doctors don't know what it is. They sent me home to die. Well, I'm not going to let that happen. You don't have any control over it, pal. But it just didn't work. Like, he wasn't buying it, and I was afraid that if I ever posted anything on Instagram again, he or she would know it was all just a load of malarkey. So it's like, well, I'm just going to have to hardcore be done with this person. Because, if faking my own death isn't working, there's nothing more that can be done. There's just nothing more that can be done. So I'm done with him. I blocked him. He's a thing of the past. Now, the other guy, the reason that I'm I'm done with him too, is because I think he might actually be a real person, and I'm not in this to hurt anybody's feelings. And the thing is, like, if I keep talking to this person, that makes me a catfish. Like, it's under false pretenses. So in no situation do I ever want to become the catfish in any of these scenarios. The reason I think he might be real is because I have done some research on this, and they say that one thing you should do if you think that someone is perhaps catfishing you is to ask them to Skype with you or video chat or something, because if it's a faker, they are not going to want to do that because their profile picture is not going to match, because they've stolen those photos off of the internet. So, I mean, of course, I've never asked any of them to Skype because I don't care that much. But he asked me to Skype. So that's why I think perhaps he might be real. And no. So I need to just stop with him, and that's going to happen. So that is what's going on. I'm sure there'll be more. I am the catfish magnet. I have decided either I look desperate enough or gullible enough. Like, maybe it's because I'm blonde. Maybe I'm being discriminated against due to my hair color, that, oh, she's going to be dumb as a bucket of mole hair. So we know that we can trick her. Got another thing coming, pal. Even us blondes watch Dr. Phil, and we know what y'all are about. So watch it. Watch your back. Well, I don't know what's been happening, because I've had these catfish, of course, which, I mean, that's getting to be old hat. But now I've just had weird stuff. I've had weird stuff on Facebook, weird stuff in my mailbox, just weird. And then today I get off of work, and in my door window thing, there is a business card, and on the back of it, someone had written, "Call me beautiful," or "text me." And there's a phone number on there. Now, I'm about 99.7% sure I know who this person is. Yea, verily, I think 100%, because their name is on the business card. So it's pretty certain. I mean, I'm not going to call him back. I'm sure it was a very sweet gesture. I'm very happy with how things are going. I know some people probably love when somebody gives them their phone number. And honestly, that's the first time it's ever happened to me. But, like, and that maybe would make someone's day. But I guess I'm a weirdo. I'll just put it that way. I'm a weirdo. The thing that's going to make my day is if I am, like, going to get my mail and I see a cat, and it's a cat that I don't know, but when I call it to come to me, it does, and it lets me pet its head. That is going to be probably the best day ever. Any day that you can meet a new cat is the best day ever. And that probably makes me a crazy person. That probably explains a lot about why people don't give me their phone numbers. But, I mean, I am who I am. And so, I don't know. It's just been weird. No weird dreams. Probably because I really have not had ZzzQuil for the last few days. I have heard that if you drink ZzzQuil every single day to go to sleep, that you're going to catch Alzheimer's when you grow up. And I don't want Alzheimer's. This is one of those don't give up what you want most for what you want at the moment situations. Because what I want most is to not get the Alzheimer's. What I want at the moment is to get a good night's sleep. So, if you have any natural ways for me to fall asleep, I've tried the breathing techniques, which do work, but it also requires me to count. And at that time of night, my mind is not functioning properly. So if you've got anything that you can help me with just so I can get some sleep, I'd love to hear it from you. Also, you can subscribe to my channel, which I would really appreciate that. You can share this on the Facebook. You can do whatever you want. It is free for you to use. So I hope that y'all have a great weekend and go forth and do good.